The first gentleman we're going to induct today was a man named Harry Grant, which admittedly a couple of the members of the Veterans Committee had never heard of him, so I had to educate him. Harry Grant was a Boston boy, raised back in the early part of the century. He was a big, burly man, which you had to be to drive those vehicles back in those days with 4-inch wide tires, about 26 inches in diameter. The only power steering you had was a steering wheel about this big. Harry ran from the early 1900s up until 1915. And he kind of picked and chose his spots. He didn't follow the complete circuit. It seemed that as the spirit moved him, he'd go out and race. And he raced Indianapolis in 1911. And his most famous accomplishments were in the Alco automobile, which was made in Providence, Rhode Island, by the American Locomotive Company. And he won 2 years in succession the Vanderbilt Cup road race on Long Island in 1909 and 1910, prior to the Indianapolis 500. And at that time, this was the most prestigious race in the country. He ran other such venues as the Fairmount Park road races in Philadelphia, the Savannah, Georgia road races in Elgin, Illinois. On the West Coast, the Vanderbilt Cup at San Francisco. He ran the Corona, California road races. And closer to home, he ran the hill climbs in Worcester at Dead Horse Hill and the Lowell, Mass road races. And Harry was quite well in demand after his successful rides in the Alco. He managed to get rides in all the premier race cars of his day, the Loziers, the Isata, and he finished his careers in the Sunbeam automobile, which was an English car. Unfortunately, that vehicle led to him getting a ride in a good factory Maxwell, and he entered the inaugural race at the Sheepshead Bay, New York, 2-mile board track in 1915. And as the track was new, he went down with everybody else. They had several days of practice, and he crashed on the first day of practice and suffered burns which later proved fatal to Harry Grant. And he came back home to Boston to be buried. Again, he was kind of an enigmatic character, very low-keyed, but when he did get behind the wheel, he got the job done.